Up next on QVC, we got this beautiful 3-bottle Hardin's Creek set from Jim Beam. Jason, how much do you think this is worth?
Oh, at least $1,000.
Oh, it should be, but guess again.
$757.
No, you're completely wrong. I'm going to kick you out if you get it wrong this third time.
I'm going to go $169.99.
Oh, that is correct. Is that going to be worth it?
We'll find out.
Welcome back to Arsenic Culture. I am Matt.
Jason.
Jade.
And we got more bourbon for you today. This one is coming from Hardin's Creek, a Jim Beam derivative, or that's kind of like a negative word.
No,
but
it's all right. I think, in the past.
Yeah, but this box is legit, like, fucking beautiful. It comes in 3 different sample bottles, and they got like little booklets on there.
Did you read all those?
I did not. I just now noticed they were even in there. So I don't know. But this is a good looking fucking box, dude.
It is. It is very nice. Back to what you said though, I do think Jim Beam does have a bad name. Growing up, it's the white label. It's kind of the rot gut, the lower shelf. Yeah. It's better than like the lowest bourbon.
Yeah.
But if you say Knob Creek, it's like,
yeah,
that's pretty good, right? What's Jim Beam to?
I
think you're putting things in perspective.
Yeah, they got a pretty big umbrella.
They do.
Like most like big brands.
And before we get on tangent, we have a special guest with us, Matt. Again, a returning guest.
Yeah, Jade, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are
Thanks
you
for
guys?
coming. Thanks for coming.
It's throwing me off because we're doing this out of order, but you all don't know that at all. But yes, welcome back because we haven't seen you since the last episode. How you been, man? It's good to see you.
Great to see you guys and excited to try the bottles. And, like you guys were saying, when you think of Jim Beam or anything like that, they don't really have any higher end stuff. The Bookers maybe?
Bookers, and then what's the other one they got? Hell, I'm drawing a blank right now. Is it Baker's?
Yeah,
They do that one
Baker's
too?
13-year single barrel. So, I'm glad that they're pushing these, and hopefully we're about to find out, see what they taste like.
I've actually not had any of this series. They released this about a year ago, but I have not had any of them, so I am excited.
Okay. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, what have you been up to, man? What's been going on since holidays and New Year's and everything?
Holidays is over, so glad to be back in Lex. Had a good time back home, but glad to be back, and just hanging out with family, friends, and
I heard you got a
ready to
new
have some
barrel
pours.
pick coming.
We do have a new barrel pick coming.
I think it's plug time.
It's plug time. So you guys follow at Local Kentucky Bourbon, LKB, and also we started a new group, Picks Only, Bluegrass Barrel Pickers. So
BGP.
BGP.
BGBP.
Yeah.
I think, we'll give it that.
Yeah. Anyways, so we got tons of picks lined up. Super excited. Should dump a Nulu.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, people frowned on Nulu.
Yeah.
You'll see them in Total Wine Liquor Barn. They might have 20 different variants, but this one's special.
I think the reason it's special, you had some guy on that pick, though, that I know.
Yeah, I didn't even get to go on the pick.
That dude's got crazy palates.
I was in Tennessee picking up other bottles
Yeah.
for the group, and they went and picked this out at Nulu in Louisville there, and
Is that true? You weren't there. You weren't there.
He
for
wasn't
the-
no,
there.
I seriously.
But there was
wasn't
one guy there that just knew his shit. He could pick Malort out, is what I heard.
So I'm starting to like put some pieces of this puzzle together. Every single time there's a barrel pick and like somebody can't make it, some other motherfucker, Jason over here, ends up going on all these picks in places of people. I feel like you've got a hand in it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he's like slipping people like poison and like scheduling trips for them so that they can't make it.
Since he blind my lord, he has an excellent palate.
Oh, I can tell. I got it down now.
He's good for the
yeah,
picks.
or you can't taste anything anymore.
I still
ever
can.
Again.
That's been a few weeks ago. I
Yeah,
still
that
can.
was like 3 full pours of Malort's.
It's very tasty.
Yeah,
Very
that
tasty.
was all I had left of that bottle. So I'm glad the guy
Finished the bottle.
Jason, what have you been up to, man?
Man, just going on barrel picks when I'm
Yeah,
off
apparently,
people.
yeah.
No, not a whole lot. Not a lot of bourbon or beer lately. Did get to participate in the 6 days of Christmas from my beer group that I did not sign up for this year.
Yeah.
But they jumped me in.
Yeah.
So there you go. We had some good pours from that one.
I hate when that happens. It's
yeah,
like you're
you
like,
say-
I don't want to drink, and they're like, no, you are. And
Yeah, you
we were gonna
have
force
to.
this on
You
You're
have
like,
to.
oh gosh darn, I guess I'll give it a shot.
But my buddy Seth up close to Kansas City sent me some beers. Most of them from a brewery up there, and I think it's Alma Mater is what the name of it, but had some really good stuff from some IPAs, some Pilsners to barrel-aged stuff. So
Yeah.
some
You know
good
what's
things.
fun about these groups? So like back when beer was popular, I guess.
Back when beer was beer.
Yeah. There was a website called, well, I guess it's still a website, Beer Advocate. Is that still around? I guess
it
it's
is,
still
but
around.
I don't think anybody uses it.
Nobody really goes on there anymore. But back in the day, that was like the only resource for beer, beeradvocate.com. And they had like a forum, which is really the only part of the website, and they had a magazine and stuff like that. But that was part of the website that everybody went to. And it brought people together. It
100%.
really did. And this was pre-Untapped. This was like anything, like that people use nowadays. But like we get in these forums and we meet other people, and people would start little groups, and you would start a thread in some forum and say like, hey, we want to get people together and we're going to do like a little beer exchange. And
BIF.
Yeah, BIF. Yeah, beer it forward. It's like pay it forward from the old Haley Joel Osment movie. And you get a group of however many people together, and then they would all send big old boxes of beer to each other. Yep. And you can have like themes, like Christmas themed beers or whatever, or high gravity shit or whatever, or local stuff. And people would send it round robin, everybody would get a box, and then like everybody would post what they got from like their secret beer stand or whatever, and
beer porn.
Yeah, and you get all kinds of like new stuff and get to try like new things, and you get to experience stuff that you can't get normally. But not only that, like it brought all of us close together.
Oh, I made a lot of great
friends,
people,
man.
Good friends there. I mean, we travel. There's not any state I can go to that somebody's not close.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I'd probably drive to meet you.
Yeah.
But if you want to see how to really screw up a website and the community, just follow the paths of the Alstroms. Is that right? Beer Advocate?
Yeah,
They used to make fun of Untapped.
Yeah.
You know who bought Beer Advocate?
Untapped. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
that's how not to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That was probably a poor purchase.
What, did they not transition to an app and stuff like that? Or?
They tried the app a few times. They were assholes.
Old school?
I mean, no. They were just assholes. They didn't want people to post this way. You had to post this way. You couldn't thread shit. You had to do this. And then, again, they made fun of Untapped and all this. I'd say Untapped, honestly, just wanted to buy them to give them the middle finger. Just to say, we own you.
They were stuck in, like, print medium, which is fine. I think there's still a market for print medium. They had a magazine.
Not much.
Right.
But they were adamant that like print was like the only way to go, the only possible way to go. And I don't even know if they do the magazine anymore. But
I don't think so. They do a digital copy maybe, but I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, but it was a great place for people to get together. We got tons of friends in Chicago, up in the New England area, all around. I got buddies down in Texas. I was just talking to Will Edgar over in Iowa, of all places, just like hooking up with him. In the group that I'm in, a lot of us. I mean, we've kept in touch for, it's been like 7 or 8 years now. And the name of our group was Ship Whatever the Fuck You Want.
Really?
Yeah, but we had an acronym. It was like SWTF, blah, 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 something like that. But it kind of looked like Swifty. So we were Swifties before Taylor Swift.
And I'm in the Swifties, but I'm better. I'm in the locals, which is much better.
And Jason, and this is before, not before he and I were friends, but there was another group, and they called themselves the Locals. And the way they started out in their beer trade is they would send local stuff to each other, which honestly is the way to do it, because it's nice to try things in small areas, so small markets, people that don't distribute that you can't get otherwise.
So on that though, what about like what would you send like here in Lexington? Because like that's not going to compare to a side project
it doesn't mean local made. It means local made or local access.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So a lot of times we would have like some prairie stuff that they didn't, or some Bourbon County that maybe some of the places didn't get. But honestly, it was kind of a struggle.
Yeah. The idea though was to you look at who your person you're sending to. What have they had? What haven't they had? What do they want? And what can you get that they don't have? So the idea is really just to gift them something that you think they would like, they haven't had before. Because on Beer Advocate, it was like Untapped at the time, to where you could see people would check into their, what they've had and stuff like that. But the whole idea was just to expose them to new things.
Well, and this is back to, I'm not trying to belittle our local scene. We've came a really long way. But we're talking back 2014-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, this is when all of our breweries are 10 years old, roughly around here.
Sure,
so, I mean, they had just started. Right. So they don't really have any canned offerings.
That's a good point, yeah. Lexington was really slow, like, on the craft beer scene. And we got some great breweries now. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of other great breweries before that. They just had, like, head start and larger markets and stuff like that.
For sure.
And the craft beer businesses kind of fizzled out, but like, man, these relationships that we got, they've kept, and then
Still going.
Yeah, so these local guys, and I know a lot of guys from Jason's group. They're actually a lot more active than we are. I mean, they still have gatherings,
right?
And then like once a year, once every couple of years, it's like we went up to was it 2 years ago? We went to Nicky Pogg's and he had that big
Illinois,
Chicago. And there was like fucking like 30 people
right.
from around the country just like hanging out and just like talking and drinking beer and stuff.
That's what I don't think a lot of people realize. It's almost more like a fellowship, like with people with similar interests.
That's what bourbon.
It's almost like a frat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not like a frat party. You're chugging beers or funneling
I mean,
beers.
you do.
You could.
Yes, you do.
But
you can.
You do.
So it's more about just hanging out with like-minded individuals,
for sure.
Stuff
and appreciating people from different walks of life.
Yeah, right. Funneling 25% barley wines, and stuff like that.
Who would believe I know what I'm talking about with my accent?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So, but you're who's the hot sauce guy?
That is Eric Simbo. Simbo.
Fucking shit. I've not met him. I know his name.
I've met him a few times. Yeah,
I know you have.
You did meet him.
Did I meet him over
at Nick's?
Did I meet him at Nick's? Okay, yep. That was a blur. There was a lot of people there.
That was the mango pineapple habanero.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! Did you try the pickle? The pickle shit?
I haven't tried them yet.
I got a pickle left.
I'm not trying to like blow up his website or anything beforehand because he just makes his shit at home. But he's got like bottles, he's got labels, and he's
legit.
He's licensed to sell. I don't know how large his production is yet, but that pickle hot sauce that he makes, I just messaged him like, dude, send me more now. I sent in an order form and I bought, I don't know what the equivalent of a case is, but I got like 12 bottles coming. Seriously, I'm
12 shipper full of hot sauce.
Yeah, I'm just like, bring it. And I love hot sauce. I'm in like a hot sauce of the month club.
I figured Kendra might like that.
She does. Yeah, we put it in
Mexican
michelada. Yeah.
I bet that's good actually.
Fucking good, dude. But I got a lot of hot sauces in the fridge, and then you let me try that, and I was like,
well, now you're making me thirsty, so let's try this, and then tell us what you've been into after you're opening these.
Dude, I haven't really been into anything. What day is this? When are we releasing this episode?
I think this is Wednesday. We'll probably release on Friday.
Yeah, I think I've just now got over like the sickness that I've had. I had the flu, but it's like I had a cough that just like lingered.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard that a lot of people,
and I've been seeing it in the news and stuff like that. It's just like everybody's got this stupid ass cough.
RSV, people talking about that shit.
Walking pneumonia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Temperature change. It's going to be 0 next week.
Yeah.
So
Can't wait.
So when I walk around in like the bank or like at like Arby's and I'm coughing on people and they were getting like, oh, weird. And I was like, it's okay. You have it too. I'm sure you do. Yeah. So Beam hasn't put out a whole lot of Hardin's Creek from what I've seen.
The first time they did it was last year. That's the only time they've done it, right, Andrew? At the Hardin's Creek. That's the first time they've done it.
Twice, right?
Well, they did the single releases, right? That's what these are. But they didn't do them until last year.
Yes.
Yep. So it's only been the total brand's been around a year.
Was it? No. Wasn't it 2022?
I sold
it was 2022. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because it's but it's just 2024.
Right.
And they had 2 other samples of something. It was like Colonel
14, 16 months or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had like it's younger, like a 2-year-old.
2-year-old.
And the 2-year-old was actually for a 2-year-old fucking fantastic. I mean, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think you tried it when you had it there.
Yeah. So what else do you know about this stuff here?
All right. So even though it's Matt's bottles, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So the Hardin's Creek set is from Jim Beam. It's Kentucky series. They just released this one, 3 different bottles. I think it was in 2022. We talked about that. It just changed 2024. So about a year and a half ago, year and a quarter ago, you got 3 different releases in here. So you've got the Claremont release, you've got the Frankfurt release, and the Boston release. Now, do you know why they're called what they're called, Matt?
Because that's where they are aged.
You're welcome. I told you that, damn it.
You did tell me that earlier.
So the only difference between these are actually where they're aged. They're all 3 17-year-old bourbon. It is 110 proof bottled at, and each of them is going to be aged in a different place. So the goal of it is to see how location and nature play a part.
Oh, so this is literally to factor in terroir.
Yeah.
Into the different...
The odd thing about that is, though, is all these places are within like 100 miles of each other.
Yeah, but I think that can cause a lot of variance.
It could.
You know,
just think of like tiers, right? So
Right,
you
right.
go in a rick house,
Exactly.
but still kind of funny,
or
right?
side by side, even 2 barrels side by side, the whole life can be different.
The itching question on everybody's mind is, where the fuck is Boston, Kentucky?
So Boston, Kentucky is between Elizabethtown and Bardstown.
Really? Is this some tiny? I've
never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
No,
And-
I knew Claremont because that's where actually Beam is at.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been there, and then I know Frankfurt.
Frankfurt's
capital.
but
But
not a lot of people know this, but Frankfurt is the capital of Kentucky. You ask the
is.
layman, they're like, "Oh yeah, Louisville." It's like, no,
Yeah, you
Frankfurt's actually
think
the capital.
Louisville, Lexington, but no, it's Frankfurt.
Yeah.
But no, I'd never heard of Boston till today either.
Okay.
So let's open these, and then we'll see if we can tell the difference.
Okay, so how do we want to? I guess we'll just do like.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it in order they were released. So Claremont was released in June of 2022.
Okay.
so
if
that
you
would
grab
be
that one.
that would be the home base of Beam.
Home base. The next one was released was Frankfurt, and
Do you
then
each want to open a bottle and we'll hand it around?
yeah, it's actually you
Yeah.
went the Frankfurt one.
Just keep, tabs of what is what. So,
So far right will be Frankfurt.
okay,
How
and
about that?
I'll pour the middle, right,
okay.
Pour the middle.
which will be Boston.
The
So I
place
think
that nobody knows about.
This is it's a cool idea. I mean, to try them side by side. So they did these releases individually in 750s, but this box set was only released probably towards the end of 2023. Maybe
These little sample
October.
bottles are cool too.
That's what
like
I was gonna say.
I could see bourbon in general going to not like an overall, model like this, but for like different things. So like try like how many? What are the
that's
milliliters?
200
200
mil.
milliliters. Yeah.
That's what, a half pint.
Yeah, especially with how like rare and like how hard like a lot of this shit is to get. Like, why not do something like this?
Well, they also get more money out of it, right?
Well, exactly right. Yeah.
I think so though. Like I don't know, to push volume like this from the glass maker. If Jason don't break some glass over there, but,
I'm just good at drinking.
I remember my
and
first
going on
bourbon.
barrel picks with Jason out there. That's all I'm good at.
and picking out my lord.
That's picking out
picking
my Lord,
out my Lord.
100%.
They do not pour clean. Jesus Christ.
Which side you pouring in, Matt? The little
So I'm
small
going.
glass?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do You want to do Claremont left, since that's the home base. You're left.
I think
Yes.
mine's super glued. Someone open it.
Hell, I thought I was struggling with it.
Yeah, I was like,
Here.
what the hell?
So Claremont's gonna be your left there, Jade.
Okay.
Since that's like the base of operation.
Boston's in the middle.
Okay.
So I do think it's cool. I mean, I don't know that I've ever had anything. The
Claremont.
closest thing to that. Which side's this one? Left.
Yep.
Okay.
Left.
So the closest thing I can think of to this is like a Four Roses. Well, I guess any rick house. Honestly, you look at it and it could be the same, distilled the same season, so a bald and bond, and it could be aged side by side or like level to level. You know, if it's going from a 5 to a 6 or like this row to this row.
Right.
You know, you
Or
already had
even,
this one.
or even, say like Sazerac, warehouse, quote unquote, plug Jason here, warehouse X.
I love Warehouse X.
Wait. What's Warehouse X?
Warehouse X. I'm glad you asked. I'm not going to tell it again, man. I'm not obsessed with that warehouse in Buffalo Trace that they do experiments in. I don't want to go there at all.
Okay, well,
unless
we don't have to
really,
bring it
unless
up.
you really. Oh, speaking of that, I just got invited today to a barrel pick at Buffalo Trace.
That's for you, Frank.
Did you?
I did. I got my
And
invite.
you're just now telling me this.
I did. I just
On
found
the
out about
show.
2 hours ago, and nobody else was invited.
Yeah.
I don't have the last pour.
Wait, so oh god, now I'm fucking confused. So you need Frankfurt. Frankfurt's your last one, right?
Sure.
No. We need
You both need Frankfurt.
I need the one that Jade had.
Claremont.
That's the one. That's the first one I
I've
gave.
poured.
Okay,
I've
okay,
poured.
okay.
I've
We had
poured
that one.
Frankfurt. I've poured Claremont and Frankfurt. I need Boston.
This is gonna end up being
Yeah,
a fucking
Boston.
I need
Abbott,
Boston. Give
Abbott
me
and
Boston.
Costello, who's on first thing.
Frankfurt's the middle one. You
Boston
need
was
that
sitting in the
one.
middle of the table.
No, Frankfurt's your middle. Pour that in there
Yeah.
and give me that one in your hand.
See, you had said on
give me that
camera
one in your hand.
So
that
Boston
Boston was gonna.
far right.
Okay, you
Boston's far out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what's more likely? What's more likely that Matt got it right or that the other two of us?
I'm
got
gonna
it
fucking.
right?
I'm gonna rewind this shit. I swear he said Boston in the middle.
No.
And
I said
Frankfurt on
I
the
was
right.
Frankfurt. I was pouring middle. Matt's the one fucked this.
We'll
up.
see.
So Claremont's gonna be your left there, Jade.
Okay.
Since that's like the base of operation.
Boston's in the middle.
Okay.
Boston's in the middle.
Boston's in the middle.
Well, either way, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of similarities in these. So.
I mean, they should be pretty similar.
I don't think we talked about.
Actually,
did we say that they're 17 years old?
All I got to do is look at the levels.
We did. We talked about that. Let's talk about MSRP though. So MSRP on this was $169.99 for the set. So a little pricey. I mean, you're paying essentially $170 for a little bit less than a fifth, right? So 600 milliliters. But if I remember correctly, I think the original release of each of these was about $250. That sound right to you in the peanut gallery back there,
Andrew?
$250.
Sorry, we're
roughly
in the background over here. We're trying to figure out which bottles, which glass still.
I feel like they were about $250
Yeah,
each.
for the box. So
For $750, like when they released these.
That sounds about right.
$230, $250. So if you're getting this 600 milliliters, you get to try some of each for $170.
No, 180.
180. Okay, so 180 for a fifth or 170 for 600 milliliters, and you get to try them all. That's actually a pretty solid trade-off. I mean, it's a little bit cheaper, and you get a little bit less, but you get to try them all three.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So I think it's more of just a try thing. Like, I don't think you'll be. Well, we'll hold off to the end of that.
No, I mean, let's start with the nose. I mean, what differences are you all getting?
You said the proof on these are all coming in
100% the same. So 110 proof. Each is 17-year-old. First off, I think the look of it, it looks a little light to me. Like it's not super dark. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's could be the lighting, but no, it's not. You wouldn't think, oh yeah, this is 17-year-old.
Is it as dark? Is it as dark as the stag we poured a while ago?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not.
All right. I rest my case.
This is the first time I think we've done like 3 like shotgun style here, like all at once. So like, I'm trying to like take it all in, but
I don't necessarily get much of a nose difference. Maybe the Boston.
So which one's the far right? The Boston.
Boston.
Okay.
Maybe the Boston. I get a
think
little
the
more
middle
sweet.
I was gonna the Boston. Yeah, I'm getting something.
I get more sweet on the Boston. Like so
I think
being
the middle one smells different.
a little better.
I feel like the Boston's a little different.
So I feel like Being traditional is peanuts, right? Like dusty peanuts. A lot of people tell you that.
Yeah.
So first sip, I tried the Claremont.
Okay.
See what you are getting on that one.
I'm not really getting any of the bean profile peanut ordeal for me.
I could see a little bit like nutty, but it's like oak, and it's not a dusty peanut.
No, I get a balanced sweetness, nothing
It is?
overbearing, not like a molasses or anything. Maybe just like a light honey kind of.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's fine. It's good. It's not. I'm not writing home about it. I don't think on that one.
No, I enjoy it.
I do too. Let's move to the Frankfurt. So again, all 17-year-old, all 110 proof. We tried the Claremont first. Now we're on to Frankfurt. Except Matt, he might not know what in the hell he's drinking.
Yeah, I think I still got Stag in one of these, and I got Malort in this third one.
You'll know Malort.
Will I? Okay.
I can guarantee you I can pick Malort
I do
out.
like the second one better than the first one.
What about you?
I think I'm leaning to the first one. So the second one,
I get a little more alcohol, like a little
I do
more
like
proof.
it's like I feel like the first one had like a bit more body to it. It was a little bit sweeter. And the second one, I feel like it's kind of tickling me a little bit more than.
There's more flavor popping through in the middle.
I think it has a bigger
it's a little
body.
hotter.
It is quote unquote hotter, but I'm also maybe getting some like leather, not an unpleasant leather, but I'm kind of getting that rustic taste.
Like
Good
buffalo
old rusty
hide.
leather.
Yeah,
Get like the old school buffalo
Oh
hide.
hell yeah, I can see it.
I can see cowboys drinking that.
When I used to ride them horses back in the day, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember drinking buffalo hide. That's gonna be our brand.
We should start that brand right now.
Buffalo hide.
It's made in Breathitt County. All right, so on to the third one. I think the lacing on them, coming out from the legs, it's looking pretty good. I mean, pretty even on both, or all three, sorry. This one looks darker to me, but I also probably have more of it, and it's in that glass. It's like a little thinner walled.
I feel like this third one's Boston. Is that right? Mm-hmm. So the aroma, I feel like it's thrown off a little bit from the first two, but I feel like it's kind of still a similar flavor profile.
I get a little more like herbal. Like it's
It's
almost rye-ish, like some rye
coffee beans or
qualities.
something. Like split this up.
Yeah, they're very similar. I took a little drink of water there too.
Yeah, you got a bottle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need
No, I got mine.
I was going to share
I
it
think
with
the
you.
third one reminds me of perfume for some reason. I don't know
it's
why, but
kind
it's kind of like
I could see that on the nose. It's almost more aromatic.
I've got my favorites. I mean, each of them's a little unique. I think each of them's a little different. They're similar, but there are differences in there.
now.
It's not pronounced. I think the most pronounced to me is the last one we had. That's the most flavor difference to me.
Here's the thing, though. Trying all three, there's no way that I could say, yeah, this is 17 years old. None. This doesn't taste any older than 8 to 10, in my opinion.
At most. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I got choked. So I remember when we first tried one of these. I don't remember which one I had. I think it was Claremont. Could have been Frankfurt, but we tried that the same time they released like a 2-year-old one. I don't Jacob's Creek or something like that. I don't remember the name, but Jacob's Well. So I actually liked the flavor on the 2-year for what it was better than the 17-year. Now I'm not
Or
saying
16, whatever it was.
yeah, whatever it was. I'm not saying I like that 2-year-old better, like head to head, but at 2-year-old, I thought it was more as pretty much almost as flavorful as that 17, 16-year-old. So how would you rank these?
Go back.
I
So
want to go back through 'em.
after, okay, so we went through 1, 2, 3. We went Claremont, Boston, Frankfurt. No, I'm sorry, Claremont, Frankfurt, Boston.
Matt has no idea.
I went back and then I
Who's on
started
first?
with
3, 2,
Frankfurt, Boston,
Sure you did.
and then came back to Claremont. And then now I feel like Claremont's actually standing out more than the other ones are.
Okay, so how are you going back through this time?
I started to the right and I went back to
so
the
we're right
left,
to left.
and all of a sudden I'm getting like a bigger boost from Claremont than I am from the other two.
So with that, do you think it's because this is this your first pour of the day? Or second?
Oh no, it's
We don't count
we don't
beers.
count beers.
We don't count beers.
beers. Yeah, we need to put that on the shirt. We don't count beers.
But do you think it's just because, you've had 5 more sips and now you go back through and it's like...
I think there is a difference. I guess it's subtle, it's nuanced, and I think by constantly, trying different things, breaking it up with a little bit of water, and trying it again, I think it brings it out. It's still very, very subtle, but I mean, I guess I'm leaning Claremont at this point, but maybe it's just because A, it's the first one that I tried. I don't know. B, maybe they're doing something to, prove that they chose the right place in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we are Claremont.
I think what it is they have rick houses at all 3.
Right,
And they're just
yeah.
saying, here's what the difference will be.
Yeah.
I don't think the difference is very substantial at all. Well, it is, but not as much as I've seen like a Wild Turkey or a Four Roses.
Right, exactly.
Well, I mean, Wild Turkey could do this. They could do it.
They have. I mean, you think
Right,
about Camp Nelson. Yeah, all those stuff. So,
But I'm
Go ahead.
still leaning... I like the middle one. So the Frankfurt.
Yeah.
so what rank would you give them, Jade? Would you go for Claremont's?
2, 1,
Well,
3.
Say what's your number 1.
Number 1 is Frankfurt.
Okay, number 2.
Claremont.
Okay.
And then Boston.
Okay,
So number
Matt.
3 was my number 3.
Matt, what would you be? As you
I'm
just
probably
going
going
to
to go.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying it again. I'm probably going to go Claremont, Boston, Frankfurt. Frankfurt, it was like, it had a little bit more like buzz to it. And it just kind of like, between the 3, I didn't think it was offensive, but between the 3, I think I would probably put that at the end.
And so I'm going straight down the road, left to right. I'm going Claremont, Frankfurt, Boston.
Okay.
I think Boston's the clear number 3 for all of us, right? So what you rank number 3
Well,
too?
I did
Yeah.
1, 3, 2, but
Close. Yeah.
Right.
I think Boston's a weird one for me.
I think the nose is totally different than...
the nose was kind of throwing me off there.
It's almost like a rye. Like it's has qualities of rye,
Yeah.
but I know it doesn't.
But like you said, I think 3 maybe has more color than any of them.
I like the experience. I like that. I think this is fun. I think it's cool, to try different things, examine the
100%.
terroir from 3 very distinct rick houses that are only 8 miles apart, tongue in cheek. But I mean, there is a subtle difference, and it's fun to kind of like figure out the nuance and nitpick a little bit.
Well, Four
that being
Roses.
said,
Go ahead.
Well, that being said, I mean, I think it's the experience is most of what it is.
Right.
So,
You know what I
so
mean?
would you think it's worth it at 170? Considering so MSRP is 170, considering that 180 is what it would cost you for one of these bottles in a 750. This is 600 milliliters combined.
Yeah, it's not even a 750.
So roughly the same price So roughly the same price as one bottle.
I think this is the classic. I'm glad I got to try it. Probably wouldn't do it again.
Right.
Kind of thing.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm similar to Matt. I do think that it is worth trying with your buddies or whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you're not buying this to be like, man, I can't wait to pour that.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
you're not gonna drink this every other weekend, once a month.
Like there was
No,
an
it's
extra
like
level of marketing that went behind this
Right.
to kind of
for sure.
to kind of like set it apart, but that doesn't necessarily make it better.
So first off, before I give my opinion on this, I want that little clip with like letters and numbers behind my head.
where
I'm
you're just like
thinking I'm
staring,
doing math
like,
and shit. So I think it's worth it, and here's why I put those things going. But I think if you had to pay $180 for each of these bottles, so let's say each of us bought one. So what is that roughly? $180, $360 plus $540.
Yep.
So $540 is what it would cost us to try these side by side, or I can pay $170, which is $60 a piece.
That's fair.
And get to try it. That's how I think it's worth it. So if you want to try them all three, this is definitely of value in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy it again after I've tried it once. But I do think it's worth it.
You know, and there's one thing too is out of these 3 locations that they've done, none is your typical bean profile, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
They're not.
I mean, there's
and we've
hints
been on,
of it, but not.
We've been on some Knob Creek picks. I think we've done 2 now.
And that is interesting though. That is interesting.
You know,
like
it's
how does
not
the recipe
like,
compare?
You know, it's not your typical bean profile.
Even all the bean products, I mean, I think have a little bit of that. I mean, that's a common denominator.
Did you talk about the recipe? Did you find it?
I don't know the recipe.
How this
for
compares
this.
to like a okay.
I don't have a clue.
I'm going to
The
pour-
mash bill.
Shout out to our buddy Andrew. He says always marriage them.
Coovy.
And it's always.
Shout out to Aaron too. Shit, he did that before.
It's old school.
And I say this will be
Pop
probably
those flat 12
fantastic.
beers, baby.
One in Lexington do as the Lexingtonians do.
So when you don't like something, you got 3 in front of you, mix that shit together. That's the rule of thumb right there. And add some Coke if you don't like it.
Oh, there we go.
And then put it in a needle and inject it in your arm. Don't fucking do that, America.
Or just get IV. And
Don't do that, South Africa.
So I had a question.
Do you remember when we were number 10 podcast in South Africa for like a
still
week?
probably
I
are.
remember that. Yeah.